What up? What up? What up? Y'all choke, no joke. You already know. I'm in the building. Y'all already know. It is real hectic out here right now, man. What are y'all doing out here right now, man? What are y'all doing? And no, this is not my security, okay? But they said no sound. Oh. Y'all hear me? Oh, okay. All right. It didn't sound. I don't know. I should kick you out the room for saying it ain't no sound. Hecklers. This is not a comedy show. All you hecklers, go to the improv. All right? At the comedy store somewhere. There's no hecklers in here tonight. It's not a game tonight. What we here for. This is my man Jim for y'all.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That he in the building tonight because there's going to be a lot of racial tension on this topic. So I need somebody other than a black person in the room tonight so he could give us the perspective from their perspective or his perspective. And I got another special guest over here on the side that's going to come in later. She was the one typing to y'all while I was getting ready. And then I also got my man Kirsten John Foy coming in. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna bring him in early because I don't want him to be sitting around waiting. And also, I want y'all to chime in. I'm gonna put the link. I'm gonna put the link in the box for y'all periodically. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna let y'all come in and express y'all feelings on how y'all feel about this. For me personally, before I bring Kirsten in, I'm gonna say there's several reasons why I came on tonight. And I know I haven't been on for, oh God, all week, but I'm working on a special project for y'all. You know what I'm saying? You know, everybody talking, oh, Choke, you always doing that old, putting that post to that old stuff. You know, what's new? What you doing? You know what I'm saying? So what I'm doing has been done. When I present it to y'all, y'all gonna love it. Trust me, y'all gonna love it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of special guests, a lot of people that y'all know, a lot of people that y'all don't know that I'm gonna introduce y'all to. But it's gonna be educational, inspirational. It's good. It's going to be very. He knows. Y'all see Jim there. You know what I'm saying. But like I said, very special project that I got going on. You know what I'm saying. So I look forward to presenting that to y'all. Now, like I said, several reasons I came on. One, if like I said, if you don't like me talking about Jay-Z, you can leave now. This is where you may exit. Okay. Now, there is, I got about 50 DMs in my phone. Choke, you gotta talk about Jay-Z. Choke, where's Jay-Z? Choke. Y'all see, I'm trying to fall back from him, right? But he keeps disappointing y'all, and y'all want me to be the spokesperson to keep talking about because I'm the only person that's not out here rubbing his planners, sucking his planners, and so y'all keep running to me. And then there's people that the industry know that hit me, they tell me, yo, you should say this and you should say that. Nick, why don't you say it? Why y'all keep hitting me and wanting me to say something? Y'all want, and then you say, you got to ever do your show while you be telling the truth, you trying to tear him down. I'm not trying to tear him down. You know what I'm saying? So that guy is one reason I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Second, Flex just went on the radio and went nuts on Jay-Z. I ain't saying nothing. He even shouted me out. You know what I'm saying? And my head's looking like Coolio in 91. Looking like Spiderhead over there, right? But I'm gonna have to go get my hat. But Flex just went off. I guess it'll hit YouTube in a few hours or whatever. But he shouted me out. Shout out Flex, whatever. Other thing is the rioting. We definitely got to talk to the rioting, and I'm gonna start off with that. That's where I got to bring Kirsten in, because that's my brother, and him being an activist. I need to know, are these his people out here saying fight the power, and at the same time kicking in windows and robbing stores, at the same time they saying fight the power, running down the street with a flat screen TV or a T-Mobile phone or clothes, groceries? Like, are these people that's out there protesting, that's breaking in stores, are these the activists, or are these the people disguising as activists? Or are these the grimy people that's using this the opportunity to come up and steal and rob from their own city? You just put your neighbor out of work when they've been out of work for last 2-3 months. Like, these cannot be activists. But now let's bring in Kirsten. Jim's going to stand. I might have him chime in, when I see it going to the perspective of outside of the black and brown. If we need to get his perspective on it, we're going to have him chime in. And if we need to get perspective from a woman, I got a lady right here for y'all. Okay? So we're going to have an interesting show tonight. And I'm putting a link in for y'all to come in and talk. If you're not going to get on the screen, if you're not going to show your face, don't even waste your time. This is about the people that ain't got nothing to hide. Nobody that's running. Nobody that's can't show themselves because they're in deportation. Like, this is a serious topic, real talk, and this is what we're doing, all right? Let me introduce the brother, Kirsten John Ford, the Reverend. You know what I mean? Peace, brother.
What's going on, my brother? Yo, you had me on the floor with that Coolio joint, man. You remember the movie Dangerous Minds? Remember the video?
Yeah.
I expected to see you in
Paradise.
That's right, some no pleat flat khakis. What's going on, my brother?
Yeah, never that.
Yes, sir.
Ain't nothing, man. How you, man?
I'm trying.
I don't know. I know you let that beard grow a little bit longer. You're gonna be looking like Fu Manchu.
Yo, brother, I ain't been taking good care of my joint, man. I just been letting it go, man, and just trying to keep up with the sides. Keep that fresh and let this go. But brother, man, you see what's happening, man. America's on fire. America's on fire, man.
Hey, meet my man Jim.
What's up, Jim?
Hey, Kirsten, good to see you.
Good to see you, sir.
Jim was in the military, amongst other things. He's well into the liquor business. He has ton of lines. But I got him to sit in on this so we can get the perspective outside of our people. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely. I think it's very important if we're going to have a real conversation about how to keep this country from disintegrating into chaos.
Yeah. So my question is, hey, thanks for the donation. Y'all know Choke No Jokes to Cash App. But what is up with these people that's supposed to be activists out here supposed to be protesting, but the protesting is turning into rioting and looting? Now, you being an activist, I need you to spread some light on this. Are these people blending in with y'all and they're taking opportunity to use this to try to come up? Or are these some activists that's just pissed off and it's like, all right, they only respect violence. And so let's be violent.
You said Jim is a military man, right?
Yep.
I'd be interested in hearing your perspective on your opinion on my perspective.
Okay.
I'm a student of history as well as an activist, a student of American history, a student of African American history, a student of liberation struggles, global liberation struggles. I've studied revolutions around the world. I've studied subversive activities by hostile state actors. And I'm interested in knowing what you think about this as a military man, Jim. What I am seeing across the nation is a coordinated military style urban incursion by the ultra left anarchists and communists, fed by Eastern powers through social media, radicalized by Eastern powers through social media, that is using police violence as a pretext to starting an urban American incursion. What we have and what we are seeing are not people who are interested in preserving Black life. What we see is a mixture of righteously indignant, righteously angry Black and brown and white Americans that are mixed up and corrupted by these extreme actors. I think it's no coincidence that the violence that we're seeing is not originating from Black folks. It's important to note the distinction between the first bomb or the first store looted or the first window broken and the last one. I think there's an important distinction to be made there. Nowhere where we are seeing violence erupt are we seeing that violence that eruption initiated by righteously indignant Black and brown people. We see them getting swept up, but they're not the initiators of the violence. The second part is they're not the extreme actors with respect to the violence. They're not the ones throwing Molotov cocktails. So what I think we're seeing, as we've seen in the past, we have a mixture here. The difference is in the past, it was just COINTELPRO, the American government, the police, agent provocateurs. I think what we're seeing now are people who are being radicalized by the ultra left coming out of Russia in this election year. I think this is another maneuver to further destabilize Black and brown communities economically, socially, and politically to empower this president. That's what I see. I'm a lifelong activist. And I've been on all sides of the spectrum. I've been burn them down. I've been time for revolution. I'm a social justice preacher, and I espouse and believe firmly in Kingian principles. I'm a student of Dr. King. I believe in nonviolence strategically, morally, philosophically, politically. I do not think violence civil context. But what I'm seeing has nothing to do with George Floyd. or Breonna Taylor or Ahmaud Arbery. It has everything to do with destabilizing our communities. People who are starting and initiating the violence around the country are not indigenous to the cities where they are initiating the violence. Yesterday in New York City, there were 70 arrests. 90% of them were people that had traveled from outside the city. Now, I say that to say there's also violence being initiated by overly aggressive policing. I think what is happening is the militarized police are responding to what they perceive as more than just protest, but incursion. And are responding to the incursion, not realizing that they are trampling the communities that they serve in that response. They are overreacting in many cases to what were intended to be peaceful protests because of the expectation that they will encounter these violent insurgents. And so we had that happen to us in New York yesterday, where Gwen Carr and I, along with others from Justice League and Until Freedom and GMAC and the Public Advocate's Office, convened a protest in Foley Square, Manhattan. That protest was infiltrated and tried to be redirected by some of these same insurgents. I'm going to call them insurgents, anarchists and communists alike. And we had to confront them as so-called allies as they came in and tried to overspeak us, shout us down, redirect our crowd into a more aggressive posture. We, meaning Gwen Carr, myself, and some of the other organizers, had to confront these paternalistic progressives that are using and exploiting our pain to espouse and advance their own political agenda. That is how I see it playing out all across America. That's how it's playing out right here in the city of New York. Now, I'm not an intelligence expert, but I know how to read and write, and the writing is on the wall. This is more than just about Black life mattering. This is a political insurgency, and Black communities are going to be caught in the crossfire between state governments and local governments and these insurgents who are using our bloodshed as a pretext. Of course, you have the government itself participating in stirring up some of this because it's in their interest to see this, to justify their militarization. But at the end of the day, when these white folks go home, wherever they come from, it's going to be Black and brown communities that are left to pick up the pieces. Look at where Minneapolis stands today. It doesn't. It's being burnt down to the ground as we speak by people that don't live in that community, don't use those businesses, and won't be responsible for the cleanup. We will, Choke. You and I will be running around the country trying to redirect resources to some of our burnt out communities by fires that were not started by us, but have to be put out by us. That's the way I see it.
Well, that was like a very long question, brother.
I'm sorry, brother.
Like it's a dissertation.
I'm sorry, brother.
That
was great. I was intent on every word that you said. That was very well put.
Well, I'm sorry. I haven't had an opportunity to really offload that as I'm sitting here watching it. Like, I live across the street from a police precinct, and they have literally fortified themselves in. So I'm living in a fortified, in the middle of Bed-Stuy. I feel like I'm living in a fortress. The police cars have blocked off and cordoned off the streets. So we can't, unless you live on the block, you can't drive through. They have snipers on the rooftop of the precinct. across the street from my house in Bed-Stuy. Because yesterday, some of those same actors tried to attack the precinct in Bed-Stuy. People that I know don't live here have now triggered a militarized response from my police precinct across the street from my house, where I have to teach my kids how to ride a bike. Across the street from a fortress with snipers on the roof. With my son saying, Dad, why are the soldiers on the roof with big guns? And I know it was not Bed-Stuy that triggered that response. So this is the first time I'm really getting to kind of offload it. And this is the first time I'm confident that what I'm speaking is going to be received by intelligent minds to help me, whether I'm being a paranoid black man right now or whether this is a reality that is playing out the way I see it. This is the first time I'm getting it out. So I appreciate your indulgence, brothers.
You want to say anything?
Biggest thing I want to say is after that dissertation, it wasn't really formulated into a question. Therefore, I feel no need to respond because it can be taken wrong. That was heartfelt. You're dead on so many different points. It's unreal. I mean, you're dead on. So there's nothing to argue about. But one thing I would like to say is myself and all of my friends, we are very sad about what happened. We are very sad about it. For us to watch that video is disheartening. It's sickening to watch. It really hurt all of us. And around the country, I've seen just as many white people in the street rallying around this point as well. I think it's been beautiful how everybody's come together on this, because what's wrong is wrong. It's not a matter of race. It's a matter of what's right and what's wrong. And that's what needs to be the focal point here. Those cops were dead wrong. All 4 of them are going to be charged. There's no doubt about it. All 4 will be charged. To what degree, I do not know, nor do I really want to expound upon that, but they will all be charged. It was just too blatant. And this is one of those questions where they're saying, well, do you think if there hadn't been all this looting and all this rioting, do you think there would have been charges brought down? In a case like this, I say absolutely, because it was so blatant. It was caught on tape. There's no way out of it. There's nothing they could possibly say to get them out of it, because the tape goes so far before the incident and after. So the whole story has been told. We've seen it all live. So we're just my friends around here, myself, we're very hurt by this, because when something like this happens, the first thing we think is, oh my gosh, there's going to be retaliation against us. And this isn't a race thing. I'm sorry it's white cops, but again, when you look at the number of them, it's a small amount of white cops they are racist. There's no other way around it. And I do want to expand on one thing. I believe this should be first-degree murder because of the fact that those two knew each other. I think it's somewhere down the line, a story's going to come out that's going to this was premeditated. There's no doubt in my mind that something's going to come out of this. With the wife being informed and with Chow, the brother-in-law now, man, I'm seeing a lot deeper story here that's going to come out over time. I just want to call for peace. This rioting is not the way. It's not the way to do it. And I really love the way that you put it. It's people coming in. It was that way in Houston, Texas. When I was looking back at that, those were people that were coming outside of the area. So when you said that, it made me realize this must have to be in all the communities. That people outside are coming in and leaving the mess for you to clean up. That's not right. And as an activist, I'm sure that you're taking stock of that and making note of it and figure out how to best respond to that.
Absolutely. And I appreciate the sentiment. I appreciate the humanity in your statement and in your feeling. I do want to take exception to one thing that you said, if I may, with all due respect. We don't have that level of confidence. I was one of the activists that responded to the murder of Eric Garner. The murder of Eric Garner, the murder of George Floyd is eerily reminiscent.
Yes.
As Gwen Carr, Eric Garner's mother, said at the rally the other day, for her, it was deja vu all over again. We saw the video. We saw what they did to Eric Garner. We saw, and here's another point of contention that I have with some people who claim to be our friends and our allies. I live here in the city of New York, where we elected a progressive mayor, so-called progressive mayor. who allowed the officer that murdered Eric Garner to remain on the force for 5.5 years. We just got him fired late last year. After 5.5 years of enriching himself on the taxpayer roll in the city of New York. But not only that, he was the only officer ever charged, administratively or criminally, for the murder of Eric Garner. But he was not the only officer responsible for creating that environment, nor maintaining that environment, nor sanitizing the evidence. There were a whole slew of officers involved in that conspiracy to cover up the murder of Eric Garner, which was a conspiracy that played out before our eyes.
Yes.
So while I recognize that all of this is played out and is documented on video, so was the murder of Eric Garner. So was the murder of so many other people where we did not see the full force of justice. I will say this. The other point, we cannot just focus on George Floyd. George Floyd came on the heels of Breonna Taylor, which came on the heels of Ahmaud Arbery. Not too far after a Tatiana Jefferson. We're seeing what's playing out, at least among righteously indignant indigenous people of communities of color. What we are seeing playing out is what Malcolm would like to refer to as the chickens coming home to roost. This is frustration that's built up over decades, Jim. Over not just the loss of life with George Floyd, but the dozens, Sandra Bland. I mean, the names are too numerous to mention where justice was denied. And those instances were traumatic for all of Black America. And we were never allowed to properly mourn nor move on because of the denial of justice. So what we're seeing playing out among righteously indignant indigenous people in communities of color that are responding to George Floyd is a culmination of multiple trauma that we just can't bear anymore.
Oh yeah,
others are now exploiting.
I agree that you know, it's definitely like built up frustration, and there's people out there that's like, yo, we tired of talking, but to me, you just can't destroy your community. Like, you know, surround the precinct, surround the cop's house, you know, so you know what I'm saying? But don't destroy your community, because if you destroyed 5 stores, that's 5 people out of jobs that may be your friends, your neighbors, your aunt, your uncle, maybe be the person you don't like, but you just took a job away from them. You know what I'm saying? And do you know how tough it is to rebuild a city from fire? You know, I think this is my suggestion, and people say it's a little bit harsh, but I think that if they put in the law that if a cop is convicted of murder, that they get automatic death penalty. If that was put into law, the last thing they be grabbing is their gun. You know what I'm saying? What you think, Jeff?
I agree.
Well, look, the more power you have, the more responsibility you have.
Yep.
And when you give somebody a gun and a badge, which is basically the license to use your discretion to determine life and death situations, you should have a higher expectation of not just professionalism, but of character and integrity and moral judgment. You're asking people to make life and death decisions in a blink of an eye. They better have the moral character to make the right decision.
All right. Well, now this is where I'm going to show you where you can be wrong. Right?
Okay, please, please.
Check it out. Right? One day I was in Harlem. I guess it's a precinct. What street is that precinct? Right there near 135th. And I was on 135th
in Frederick Douglass Boulevard.
Yes. Right. That's where I was standing right there. And I was waiting something, but it was two cops there, right? They young guys. I probably was in my 30s at the time. They probably was in their early 20 something, right? Cops tatted this, that, and the other. I'm like, damn, y'all can get tattoos? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like on the force. And both of them told me that they were blood gang members. And that the thing that scared me about it was they said, Charlotte, thanks for the donation. I appreciate it. They said, yo, we gang members before we cops. So what you just said don't apply to those type of cops.
You're right.
Another case in point. In LA, in the case with Biggie and Death Row, it was said that Death Row had cops on the payroll, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, some of them cops were gang members.
Yes, sir.
So and if you do the story, they killed people for
Yes,
Death Row Records, and they were cops.
Yes, sir.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
No matter if they was white, black,
yes, sir,
whatever, they were still cops. They were blue.
Yes, sir.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So, it ain't a white cop thing.
Don't
It's a
disagree with
blue
you.
thing. It ain't, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people blame it on just, oh, these white cops. It's black cops that have been beating our ass since I was a kid.
Worse than white cops.
Walkie-talkies to the head, the fucking billy clubs to the head, them hard ass shoes to the face. You know what I'm saying? It was black cops too. It ain't, you know what I'm saying? It ain't always, it be a lot of jealous black cops. You know what I'm saying? Because you got a nice car.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? So
real.
Me, and I'm not saying this because I'm saying with a white person, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying this because in my experience in life, we didn't have too many white cops patrolling the neighborhood. You get what I'm saying? It was a lot of black cops that was patrolling the neighborhood. And you had your white ones, the detectives, you know what I'm saying? Them slimy ones too. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, that it be our own brothers that in uniform that be giving us a hard time too. You agree?
I do agree, and let me say more than you know. The problem with us in our community has been with black cops has been, in order for them to move up the ladder, they got to step on our back to get up. So they got to be more aggressive. They got to bend the rules and break the rules a little bit more. They got to prove to them that they ain't one of us. And so we bear the brunt of whatever hazing process they got to go through to prove to them that they ain't one of us. And I'll give you another example why you're right. In 2014, 15, over a couple administrations, as a matter of fact, the FBI did a study of law enforcement across the country. They did a study of law enforcement across the country, and they found that there was a concerted effort by white nationalists to infiltrate law enforcement, to become officers. But it was also the case with highly organized black gangs that they had also had a concerted effort to infiltrate the criminal justice system through law enforcement and attorneys, defense attorneys, and prosecution attorneys.
Let me tell you something. Check this out. Miss Wallace needs to reopen her case against the LAPD, her civil suit. I say this, right? Look at it. The whole death row thing was about, it's supposed to have been crooked cops, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who was running Death Row Records?
Mm-hmm.
Reggie Wright, when Suge Knight went to jail, right?
Mm-hmm.
Damn it, him and his father get indicted
Yes.
for drugs.
Yes, sir.
Isn't Reggie Wright in jail right now from the LAPD?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I think there's more. I don't think she got the support that she needed.
Yeah, but listen, now when you go back and you look at how Reggie has been around the whole time, and then you see how Marv James talk about how his brother got killed and it was killings and all this.
Mm-hmm.
Reggie was there the whole time, and he co-signs a lot of these stories, right? He's LAPD, and I'm just using him as an example that it be right in your face. You know what I'm saying? It's right in your face. Why is this man in jail right now? And he was a cop. Why is he selling drugs if he was a cop? Why was he around murders if he was a cop? Y'all telling us they had nothing to do with Big getting killed when he supposed to have been followed by the police his whole trip. They was FBI was on him, and then the moment he get killed, nobody's around. But the number one person that's alleged supposed to or had a problem with him was a LAPD, and he is in jail right this minute for selling drugs. And he sat around and co-signs all kind of murders or something. Like, you didn't report nothing, officer? Nothing? You get what I'm saying? And he's black. You get what I'm saying?
Totally.
Killing more. I ain't say he killing anything, but the killings that took place was on black people. You get what I'm saying? So once again, it's a lot of dirty ass black cops. So let's not like
listen, right.
Seen a white cop nail on George Floyd. You know what I'm saying?
Brother,
make it blue.
One of the cases that I fought coming up that's really close to my heart was a case of a 24-year-old young lady named Chantel Davis. Chantel Davis used to run the street, do her thing, but she wasn't a violent person. But you know, she was involved in certain street businesses. Chantel Davis got a phone call one day, a mysterious phone call one day. She rushed out of her house. She jumped in the car and responded to the phone call. Immediately after, a police car started shooting up the block with the lights blaring. This is the story her grandmother tells.
All right, hold that thought 1 second. So, I want to say real quick, y'all, if anybody want to come in and talk about how they feel about the riots and the looting going on and what's your opinion, I'm going to put the link in for y'all to come in after the brother finished talking. All right, go ahead, brother, finish.
Yeah, so the police car immediately pursues Chantel and her car. They drive around the neighborhood a little bit. Chantel crashes her car. The officers jump out the car. Chantel is indisposed. The airbag had dispensed. She's dazed. The witnesses said the officer jumps out the car, immediately goes over to where the passenger car is, opens the door, and fires a shot point blank into Chantel's chest, then drags her out the car, brings her to the curb, and turns her over so she bleeds out with her chest facing down. Black cop, known as the shakedown cop. Turns out Chantel had been shook down by this same dude, this same cop, several times. The next day, she was slated to testify before a grand jury in which she was gonna tell on some of these dirty cops
Okay.
that was running this underground drug operation in the hood. Somebody put a hit on Chantel, and the black cop executed the hit. So it ain't about, like you said, black or white. It's blue. It's blue, baby. And when you put that uniform on, the only color that matters to them is blue.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you take the uniform off, they might not recognize you one of them.
But you know what?
But your mentality will show it to them if you're right trained.
And in a lot of cases, I know cops, good cops, you know, because there's dudes that grew up in my neighborhood that became cops and then became high ranking. That when you be a good cop around bad cops, you can get killed. A cop will kill another cop as like they lay a gang. Huh?
If you a threat to them,
yeah.
If you're a threat to they way of life, you're a threat to their business, you're a threat to their ambition. Because the way you become a higher paid cop or a more powerful cop is by racking notches on your belt. And those notches aren't always earned. Sometimes you create them notches. You plant evidence. You frame people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You lie, you falsify documents. You do what you got to do to close a case.
Right.
If the case closed means, boom, you can move up the ladder a little bit faster. So it's in their interest financially.
I used to, not to cut you off, I used to see this cop used to come rob this dealer named Bo Pete back in the day. He would come and make him go get him money. And he'll rough him up if he gave him any problem. He'll come back, hand him the money, the cop will leave. I guess whenever the cop was on hard times or he'll come and rough him up. He wouldn't even arrest him. He just wanted some money.
Right.
But let me ask you, man. A lot of people be hitting me, you know, mad at Jay-Z and want me to address Jay-Z because they feel like he's not doing the right thing by the people by taking his stance by like he was rolling with Kaepernick and then backdooring them. So now he's looked like the face of social injustice, and NFL and gave him, you know, $100 million allegedly, and he told him I was doing prison reform. And with all that's been going on lately, you know, the virus, you know, before the virus, you know, oh, you look nice. What's that? Oh, hey, what up, man? How you doing? All right. What you call it? Peace, man. All right, I'm live right now.
Okay.
All right. Pardon me, y'all. I'm sorry. They feel like he put himself in a political stance and like he was being an activist and stuff. And now that things is real out here, he's very absent. You know, Flex was just on the radio going bonkers on.
I heard about it.
You know what I'm saying?
People would blow my phone up talking about, yo, turn on Flex. He's going in on Jay.
Right. So let me ask you, what's your perspective of him How you feel about him, and do you agree with what they say? Because everybody want me to do it, and I just feel like I done already, like Davy and Goliath. I already knocked the giant down. I don't have to keep talking about this nigga and showing everybody he's acceptable, clear.
When people show you who you are, you gotta believe them. It's really that simple. Jay-Z is not doing anything different than he's ever done before. And so why do you expect him now? His job was to appropriate the movement for the NFL. That was his job. And he did it. And he redirected it, and he's doing what the politically safe thing to do, which is talk about prison reform. Which everybody in America with a brain knows that we need decarceration and we need prison reform. That's not hard. The hard thing, and Kaepernick wasn't kneeling for prison reform. Let's be clear. Kaepernick was about police accountability.
Right.
So they took the energy and the spirit of that movement and redirected it to something that was non-controversial and non-threatening to one of his business partners. That's what he did. So at a time when it's clear that the original problem never went away, everybody's looking for, you know, the same appropriator or misappropriator to show up and save the day. But he was never there to save the day for you. He was never there to back up the movement, to strengthen it, or to advance it. He was there to redirect it and deflect it away from causing harm to some of his business partners, thereby creating value for himself. That's what happened. It was a business maneuver that he did with the movement. And now people are saying, oh my God, we fell for the okie doke. Okay, we did. Y'all did.
I didn't.
Not you, but I'm saying those who are disappointed again.
Right. Yeah, because it's like they felt like, you know, he didn't come out with the whole COVID thing. They didn't do nothing to help the people in the community.
And they still not.
I know.
They still not. Brother, we've been out here feeding people every day. I'm not a man of the means of Jay-Z, but I've been able to put two and two together, rub some quarters together, and feed our people where we can. All over New York City, in Bed-Stuy, in Marcy Project. How many millions of dollars you made off of the name of Marcy Project? And there are people in Marcy Project right now that are hungry, really hungry. The food lines are insane. Oh, wow. There are people right now in Marcy Project with no masks. So you ain't showed up for your own hood in a global pandemic to feed the people you made millions of dollars off of, or to protect them. Where's the masks? You big and bad. So let me get this. Bob Kraft can fly his plane to China and load it up with masks and whatever else and bring it back here. But you ain't got no NFL juice. You ain't got no planes. You ain't got no corporate relationships. You ain't got nothing you can use to bring resources back to your people right now. So what, you gonna do a song about COVID and how the government didn't do nothing for us? And then we supposed to be like, that's supposed to be our COVID anthem? Is that's your contribution, Jigga? Another song so you can make more money off of our pain and suffering while doing nothing to help alleviate it? So I mean, I'm not angry with him anymore because who he is. I'm angry with people that expect more because you're wasting our time having to talk edge when you shouldn't have been on that ledge in the first place. It was a Houdini. It was a magic trick. And y'all still falling for the magic trick. You still falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Get off it. Jay-Z is not a leader. He's not here to change the conditions of our people. He's here to get rich off of the conditions of our people. And he's been successful with that business model. Why do you think he's going to change it?
If it's not broke, don't fix it, huh?
I mean, what for him?
I mean, like even like
fertile soil to make money. This is fertile soil. He could drop a whole album about how COVID ravaged the dollars. You still all kinds of ways we're making money. Ain't seen him one time in the hood with a mask, a meal, a pair of gloves, nothing. But I ain't mad at him because that's what he is. But people shouldn't be wasting your time, Choke, trying to put your mental energy around something that you already understood a long time ago. Yeah. They need to be putting their mind on some other problem besides that.
I'm off it, man. Like, you see what I'm about to present to y'all, man. I'm about to shock the world like Ali. You know what I mean?
Bird. Well,
yeah. I got some real special, baby.
You gonna give it advanced premiere?
Maybe in like a week or two.
All right. I'm gonna be looking, bro.
Yeah. But I mean, I think it's just a lot. Like even Puff, like even he got up on the goddamn Instagram and danced for some donations, even though he shouldn't be asking nobody for no goddamn money either. You know what I'm saying? But at least he's an attention whore, but at least he's out here showing his face, saying whatever he's saying. This dude's like he gets on the only time he come out is to address stealing the nigga's book bag with some damn aloe vera tissue. That's what you come out and talk about? You go on Instagram live for the first time and you telling a dude's talking to you about stealing his book bag? With everything that's going on, you come on and that's what you do? But I guess that was entertaining to the fans, and they'll say to me that I'm a hater. All right. I'll be the hater. I will stay being a hater, but y'all stay being the knuckleheads, idolizing a nigga that came on with a pandemic, said nothing. All this people being killed, said nothing. Would talk to a dude about stealing his tissue, playing around with butt jokes. What else we use tissue for?
You're right. But can I just say something? Anybody calling you a hater can't recognize the time we're in. This is the history has changed. Anybody that thinks the world is going back to what it was before January and February is delusional. We're in a new world now. COVID has changed the world in front of our face. We're in an election period in America. We're in the midst of the next wave of the Civil War. Most people think the Civil War was decided. The people that lost it never conceded it, never believed it was over. And so all throughout our history, it's been the same struggle. Economic struggle for Black folks, for economic justice, political justice, all that good stuff. We fighting the same fight we've been fighting 100 years. But the difference now is we have a global pandemic that has changed the world. And there ain't going to be no more 50,000 people filling a concert hall, filling an arena to see Beyonce shake her ass or to see a smoke-filled stage. All that's done. All that's done. It's over. The party is done. The party is over. And our people are dying, right? Our elders are being eliminated by this disease. Our young people are being eliminated by poverty and violence. There is no being a hater. There's no being a hater when your people are dying, dropping like flies, and coons are buck dancing around the stage, and you calling out coonery. That's not hatred. That's trying to purify the environment because our people are dying. That's the reality.
I believe that the ultimate goal here is like prior to this COVID Corona thing. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even foresee it coming because I'm one that watches a lot of movies about the future. You know what I'm saying? To see where in 5-10 years from now, where we gonna be at, because a lot of film and television shows is, are depicting life. Like I people think I'm crazy, but I believe it's time travel. You know what I'm saying? Because stuff that like you see on The Simpsons when they predict stuff. You know what I'm saying? They knew that was going to happen. It's like Marty McFly went back and got through the damn what was it? The Atlas, and Smith went and stole it and made the bets. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew everything that was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like I believe that. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that we are the only life force in the universe. You know what I'm saying? You tell me this one planet got life on it? Yeah. All right. What up, man?
What's up, Mr. Cho?
Hi.
What's up, man? All right. So,
yeah, you done?
What I believe is this, through my studies, I felt like when AIDS hit and then the homosexuality got promoted into mainstream, that was population control. You know what I'm saying? They started doing these things because they felt the world was overpopulated and the governments around the world was taking care of too many people. Or in their mind, there's too many people on the earth. Like, who are you to decide that, right? So those things were put into place for population control, right? So now, like I said, I didn't foresee a virus coming, but I seen movie outbreaks, like movies like that. So now I look back, I Am Legend, same thing. I'm like, all right, I Am Legend is more recent, so I'm like, I expected that. When the virus hit, I'm like, I'm getting out of New York because they're gonna cut off the bridges and you're not gonna be able to leave because we seen it in the movie. Kind of some happened, but didn't happen. They didn't stop people from leaving like that, but they shut the city down. You know what I'm saying? So now that when I do my research now, it's more about, okay, we try to slow down the reproduction of man, but now we need to depopulate some of it, right? And with that doing it, I kind of related to the music industry. My analogy is that with the depopulation is because in the music industry, they got rid of the gangster music because our era grew up with knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Remember, we come from our parents and our grandparents raising us, having knowledge of self, 5%ers. You know what I'm saying? We not the dumb, deaf, and blind. Niggas is smart. And us being on the street, we learn how to calculate, math, everything because of the hustle. You get what I'm saying? So I say that to say, in the industry, we was wise. So what they did was, and I know they did it because me working, producing Rap City and stuff like that, they stopped a certain type of music coming in and ushered in like the Soulja Boy era and things, kid music, kid artists, because they didn't have the knowledge that Dame Dash had, the Irv had, because they knew the business, right? Rough Riders. And then y'all know that y'all do bad business and it's, go get your lawyer. But with these dudes, they busting up your office, this, that, and that. Get them out of here. Get them out of here. So now you usher in this new generation of kids that don't have knowledge, that don't know, and they can rape them and rob them because they don't know the business. You get what I'm saying?
Totally.
These kids are coming into business and make their mother their manager, and their mother ain't never been to a networking party. She ain't got no resources. She don't know anybody.
Right.
She don't even know what publishing is, royalties, mechanical rights, any of this. But she's your mother, and you hired her because you trust her, because you think she's not going to steal from you. But you limit your resources and the money that you can make because you don't have knowledge of the industry, right? So I say that to say, when you bring in these young kids in the industry, they don't have no knowledge, they don't have no guidance, they get robbed, right?
Right.
So now getting to the depopulation is what I feel, you know, is the virus affects who the most? The elderly, right?
Right.
Get rid of the grandparents, the parents. You got a parentless society, a bunch of young kids that don't know life, that don't know experience. Government take control of them. It steer them in different ways. What did they do to us? Our generation, they put laws in place where we couldn't chastise our kids no more. Can't spank them. We can't discipline them. So now they run a little bit looser, a little bit wilder, because now we go to jail and we put them in check.
Right.
So now they let them out loose. Then they put out then they promote the homosexuality. So now you can't tell it it's not, your kid is not wrong or have a problem with them being free, as they would call it. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So they pump that lifestyle in them. They give them Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj turn your little son into a Bob and turn the girls gay.
Right.
But she's always in a heterosexual relationship, but she contributes to her music, takes you to that. So she's playing her role. The other artists are playing their role in the music industry. But in the industry now, I mean, in real life, what we're dealing with now is the virus takes away the grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
Crack era, what happened? Our parents, my mother was on crack, right? Left me to hit the streets to fend for myself. My father, you know, they divorced. He not in the house. He dies early, right? Most of my peers, mothers and fathers was on crack, heroin, right? Who raised kids? The grandparents, right? The virus takes out the grandparents. The mother, that generation, the mothers died of crack. The fathers went to jail because of the crack era, right? So most of us, we raised ourselves for the most part, or we grew up early. Now you got this they wipe us out. We got a bunch of knucklehead ass kids running around here with no guidance.
Right.
And then they start putting all these different laws in place, and they'll be robots. They only know the computer. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The internet went out right now.
Right.
The internet went out right now. And you tell them what the word America means, and they can't go Google it.
They done.
They like, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Figure it out. How? We can't get on the computer.
Ask them what it is.
Hey, the first thing ain't gonna be, oh, let me go get a dictionary
and
look it up, because they don't know that.
There are two words that we grew up with that were a real source of, that were associated with knowledge and information for us that these kids don't know.
Encyclopedia and dictionary.
Don't know what either one of them are. Don't know a Britannica from Atlantic Ocean, right? A dictionary is what Google tells you a word means. And Google will have multiple sources, right? Google will have Oxford or Webster to reference whatever word, but you don't know what Webster is. Ask them to know what Britannica and Webster mean and see what you get. Britannica and Webster, ain't that downtown Brooklyn? No, it's not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the dependency on technology is both a strength and a weakness for them. We know how to get through a world without this. It might be harder, but we know how to. And
to me, that is the cause plan. And then you got Bill Gates wanting to push his vaccination on us. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. If you, I'm not taking it. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. I don't even do flu shots. Like the flu shot is free. You know I don't want that. Like, ain't nothing free, but you want to give me a flu shot? All right. Well, I don't catch the flu anyway. If I do, I'll go get some Theraflu. You know, that's my flu shot. I'll take a shot of Theraflu. That's the only thing I'm gonna do. But yeah, brother. So look, man.
Yes, sir.
It was good speaking. You know,
Always.
man. I gotta get back to work. Jim, I appreciate you chiming in. But I see we got to here. Let's. If anybody want to come in, y'all got something to chime in. Want to say, my brother Sean, he been waiting. I'm gonna let him come in. Yo, Sean, you there? Show your face, brother. What's the deal, man?
What's up, bro? What's good, bro? How you doing, man? What's up, Christian?
What's good, Sean? How you, baby?
Choke.
Yo.
Just give me 10 minutes, bro. I know you usually limit to 5, bro. Give me 10 minutes.
You got that.
I'm gonna make everybody think real quick. All right. So first off, you know, I remember like a month ago when you I went live with you. You had lost your relative to COVID, so it was a real touchy situation at the time. Now, the problem with that was I remember when it started. It was 2 people that they told that that the news was reporting that really didn't have to worry about it. It was Black people and kids. And who did it affect the most?
Black people.
Black people. There we go. And then fast forward to now. It's back to Black people dying at a high rate. Before you joined the live, man, there was a dude in the comments, man, talking some riffraff. He didn't really seem like he knew what he was talking about, but he was talking about the riots, man. And I don't support the riots and everything too. But what people fail to realize is the protests started peaceful. They started peaceful, and the people struck first with the tear gas. So that's really they just reacting, man. I mean, I'm not saying they going about it the right way, but at the same time, a lot of people not realizing, but it's a lot of plain clothes officers out there that look like protesters, and they're looting and vandalizing and destroying shit too. So I mean, stuff they destroying stuff too. So people not looking at that, man. But I mean, like I never really believed in the COVID anyway, because like first off, it was 2 things that seemed off to me. When all the CEOs resigned. I mean, like, you know, you just don't resign just because a virus is, you know, jumping off. That was the first thing. And then, you know, when they reported it, man, they said that it started from someone in a whole different country eating some bat soup. And it affects just our economy. Like, come on, man. It did not make sense from the jump, man. So, like, you know, I didn't really want to disagree or debate with anybody on if it was real or if it wasn't real. You know, I knew something was happening, and it was. I think the agenda was to get rid of us. And then now, like it was crazy. Like at that time, the cop killings died down. All the focus was on all the focus was on the virus. But we went from Jeffrey Epstein to Kobe Bryant death, right into the virus, and now right into this.
Yeah, and then I don't. It's chaos.
It is chaos, man. I really think, like, I mean, I always thought at the beginning anyway, like when Black people started getting the so-called COVID, when they said that, you know, we really weren't going to be getting it. It seemed like something that, you know, like a genocide, something to get us up out of here, man. And you know, even with the riots, like I think it's going to be a racial war, man. This is what they wanted, man. This is what they wanted.
I know it damn sure is a spiritual war.
No question. Can I just say? They have been trying to provoke black people into a race war
For a long time.
for a long time, and we ain't never took the bait. They killed our leaders. We ain't took the bait.
Right.
They destroyed our communities with drugs, flooded us with guns, and we have never taken the bait. They have killed us inside a church.
And jail.
Yeah.
Gunned our grandparents down in Bible studies.
Yeah.
And
What-
said, I dare you. Now let's start it. And we ain't take the bait. What we're seeing now is not black people taking the bait.
Right.
We're seeing provocation,
Right.
intentional provocation by law enforcement and by people on the other side that want to see this happen.
Facts. I
And
believe that.
we are getting caught up in the crossfire. And whether or not our rage is righteous or not and justified or not, the cost to our community is higher than anybody else is going to pay. So whatever the outcome, we are going to be the losers. We're going to shed the most blood. We're going to lose the most money. We're
Right.
going to lose the most opportunity. We're going to fall back the farthest in education, in healthcare, in economic standing. So we're going to lose no matter who starts the war, no matter whether it's between crazy white folks on the right and crazy white folks on the left. It's going to be sane black folks in the middle.
Facts.
That's taking the blows.
Facts.
Hey, Kirsten, she want to ask you a question.
Who is she? How you doing?
How you doing?
All right.
Alicia. Basically, a lot of times since this has been happening, things have been swept under the rug. But now that it's rioting and uproar, now it seems like, okay, at least there's been an indictment with actual charges that's not above the charges they should have got. Like, it wasn't a first-degree murder because it would have never stuck.
But
So I just feel like
I got two things real quick on that. The one thing I'm noticing, and I'm definitely not. I hope don't nobody think I'm defending them. I think the first degree murder charge comes from them not using an actual weapon. So I think that's where the third.
he could have
It's premeditation determines.
degree.
Right. So I think that's
He would have definitely walked.
yeah. But I don't think they're gonna end up walking, man, like the ones in past, man. Cause like the video that came out today, Chuck, did you check that out? I sent it to you on the gram.
Nah, I didn't get a chance to check it out. I'll see it though.
Dude, that video right there, it changes the whole landscape of everything that we've seen. But my second point to what you said, I didn't mean to cut you off, but one thing that people haven't noticed is like, yeah, we've seen a mugshot, but like, I mean, like when Dylan Roof, when he got taken into custody, we saw him get pulled over on the side of the road. We saw him in the Burger King drive-thru. We saw all that. A lot of other terrorists or murderers, you know, we see them get placed in custody. All we see is this mugshot. Like we don't, and then now they're saying that he's on suicide watch. Like how who are we to believe that? I don't believe that.
You referring to who?
I don't know how to pronounce his name, Chauvin or Chauvin, whatever his name is.
The officer.
Yeah, the officer.
Well, look. So as they conduct the investigation, and when I say they, I don't mean just the authorities. The family's attorneys are conducting their investigation as well, and Ben Crump is on that, and he's a good friend, and I support Ben, and he knows what he's doing. More and more details come out, like this officer had a relationship with George Floyd before this killing.
Yeah,
he knew him. They worked together
that.
as security. So there are other things that are coming out as well as they start to interview some of the people that knew them and knew of the dynamics of their relationship beforehand. And I do believe they're going to discover more evidence that might lead to the suggestion that this was premeditated.
Well,
that he knew that who George was and the intent was to kill George.
Well, the
And
video
so-
that I showed y'all, I think is definitely going, like what you're saying is definitely, that's going to come out to be true, because the video I'm referring to just came out a few hours ago, right before Choke went live, man. They beat him up in the back of the cop car before he even was outside of the cop car. So all we see, the video that we seen all week was them, the struggle outside the cop car. Today, the video comes out of them, and we can't actually see what's going on, but from the view, the back door was open. Of course, he's in the back seat, and that same cop that was just standing outside just watching, he's also standing right by the door, and you can tell that they going in with him. I don't know if they punched him with closed fists or a billy club or whatever, but they are going in on this man. So I think that we can't let that ride. Like, I mean, you know, the protests and everything like that, that's good. It's better than nothing. But man, we need to make, just like we did for Arbery with that viral video, we need to be doing the same thing with this new video, because that could upgrade those charges, like for real. And you know, I'm sure the other cops will probably be picked up in the next few days, but that could also speed up that process too, because they know a lot more than, you know, that they initially had said they knew. Of course, they had to, man. They knew what was going on.
There's several things to me as an observer of the case that are different than other cases.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Here you have even the National Fraternal Order of Police condemning the killing.
Facts.
You have law enforcement coming out, individual officers coming out, making public statements on their gram, on their book, in social media, saying, nah, this shit ain't right.
Facts.
Black and white cops alike
Facts.
who are saying this ain't right.
Facts.
There are videos of white cops saying, and I gotta find it somewhere, he did a whole dissertation in his uniform saying the black community is not my enemy. And I'm tired of enforcing laws on them based on discriminatory policy. You have white cops who are willing to come out publicly now and reject the trainings that they're receiving and the way that they are ordered to police communities of color. And what I think has happened is what we aren't remembering, but they remember very clearly like it was yesterday. We got a short attention span. We don't remember Dallas.
Yep.
We
already forgot about Sandra Plan.
We don't remember Baton Rouge.
Yep. Facts.
We don't remember the DC snipers.
Facts. I do.
we forget that there are some black people that bout it. So when they say, I ain't taking this shit no more, they mean it.
They really do, man.
And there are a lot more of them who were trained in Afghanistan, who were trained in Iraq, who came home to an ungrateful country that did not provide them the mental health services nor the economic services that they needed to sustain themselves in this country. Now they're homeless, they're hungry, they're crazy, and they're armed and trained.
Facts. One thing I know
Those
Chuck
police
gonna
remember
let me go.
that. These police remember that.
Yeah,
That happened again.
The other thing that everybody, a lot of people was hitting me about, they was upset with Trump calling people thugs that was looting and rioting. They are thugs. Like, what the hell are they people talking about? Like, what do you think that he was calling the protesters thugs? No, he's talking about the thugs that were breaking into the stores and stealing. Those are thugs. Like,
and
people are just so racist that they just wouldn't be mad because he used the word thug and like he's saying something wrong when he's not. Like, what if that was my store? That if I don't think because it's T-Mobile that a black man can't own it. Don't think that if it's Subway that a black man can't own it. These are franchise businesses of Popeyes. We can all buy it. Any one of us in the room right now can buy these companies, Starbucks.
Jimmy John's.
So you think if somebody come busting my windows out and stealing stuff, I'm not going to want to kill them? or protect my store?
The black owners doing it right now.
There are thugs. So what the president saying when he say, "Yo, I'm going to send the military out there, and you thugs will get shot." If any nigga break into your house right now, by law, you can bear arms. You tell me somebody break into your house right now and stealing, vandalizing, burning it down, you're not going to protect it?
Facts.
Then that wouldn't be a thug?
Yeah. I mean, that's just our people, though. Our people, like, we love to talk about what we would do, what we wouldn't do, how we would handle certain situations and everything until we in those situations. Like, I mean, like, you know, this ain't the first tragic event in the black community. And I mean, like, even in the ones in the past, you know, we've all, or not saying us, the four of us, but like, you know, our people, we've said like, yo, man, if I was there, I'd do this. I was there. And now they're actually doing it. Like, for real, they're actually backing it up. But the Trump thing, I think, honestly, man, it was because it came from Trump. Like, you know, our people, we used to talk, I can't remember which one of y'all said it, but y'all was talking about racists. Blacks are racist too. And a lot of them, it shows towards Trump and Trump supporters because we automatically assume they're racist against us. I honestly think, like, if it had came from like Gary Payton or Michael Jordan or somebody like that, they wouldn't have took it like that. But just because it was coming from Trump,
Right, exactly.
that's why they took it like that.
All right. Well, let me at risk of disagreeing with my brother and the host.
All right, but make it short because I got to go.
All right.
All right.
Difference between thuggery and despair. And we seeing people who are living in crisis mode every day and living in despair every day. And an opportunity is an opportunity. And if they had other alternatives, they would not resort to that. For me, a thug is somebody that has an alternative, has an opportunity, but resorts to it because they choose to go the easy route. I don't think what we're seeing.
That's exactly what's happening. You tell me breaking into a window and stealing something is not going the easy route?
Yeah, but we also have to remember 30 million people just got laid off.
Okay,
Yeah.
you tell.
I was gonna get there too.
Okay,
I agree with that.
All right.
I agree with that. I think a lot of the loot is because of that too.
Hold on. 30 million people got laid off 2 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago. Why they ain't go break in this stuff then and do it? Don't use this opportunity to go and do it because you ain't even related to this man. You never even met this man.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So you're just using this as an opportunity as a come up.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like we all in here is hit. But we ain't going to break in nobody goddamn store or burn it down.
So they burned down Wells Fargo, who is the biggest thug in the country. Wells Fargo in false bank accounts with black folks' names on them.
Yep.
So they burned down Wells Fargo, who was exploiting black people. They burned down Target, who is one of the biggest supporters of the Trump and Republican control of government. So, I mean, then everybody's a thug. You got corporate thugs that rape communities by the billions.
Man, I know you ain't saying to justify this, nigga. Come on, man. I know you is not saying you're trying to justify them breaking in and burning stuff down because of these corporate.
No, but they're not burning it down, Choke. It's the white folks burning it down.
It definitely is.
It's us burning it down. We ain't throwing the Molotov cocktail.
The dude that burned down the
don't act like that.
The dude that burned down AutoZone
people ain't taking advantage of this. And
absolutely.
Hey, let me tell you something. A nigga could pull up right now with a Lamborghini and leave that bitch running and go in his motherfucking house. I'm not getting in that bitch driving off.
Yep, that's you though. It's only one choke. The next man, the next man, he gonna be like, man, I'm about to pull up at my baby mom crib, man. Take her out.
Yeah, you gotta jump in that motherfucking car. Don't pull up in your baby mom crib. You
I
better
ain't
get
need to see Date Carter. No, I ain't stealing no damn car.
3 years for grand larceny.
Yeah, but like for real though, honestly, man, the cop, I mean the guy that set the AutoZone on fire is a cop. So
They keep
they are thugs too. The
Right.
the undercovers and plain clothes out there rioting.
We just talked about there's dirty
but
cops.
people who have been traumatized are the ones that don't have the right judgment. Black people, we can't judge black people who've been living in poverty for generations to have
Facts.
the same pathological, interface with the world that healthy people have. We've
That's
gone through so much.
How long you been living in poverty, brother?
Say what?
How long you
I
been
mean,
living in poverty?
you want to know the truth? My family and I were homeless for almost 2 years.
When
my sons
you
and
go
I were
breaking,
living-
did you go and
my
breaking
sons-
anything?
But hold on, but no, I wasn't. I wasn't
Okay.
breaking.
All right,
wasn't
then.
breaking-
That's what I'm saying.
but-
So it don't
But
matter.
what I'm saying
We
is-
all come from struggle. It don't make it
Yeah.
right, man.
Yeah, no,
You
I'm
right.
not. What I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is there is a reality of people who are traumatized, a pathological reality of people who are traumatized. I was strung out on drugs, eating out of fucking garbage can, sticking everything I could before I got married, not doing it right. That wasn't healthy. You know what I'm saying? I was living a self-destructive pathology wasn't right. But that was a result of trauma. I came out of that, but I was stuck in that at a certain point. I'm saying our people are stuck in a state of trauma where the pathology is not allowed to make right and healthy judgment. And so I'm not justifying it. I'm saying these are hurt people. These are injured people. These are people in despair with a corrupt pathology that comes from years of trauma, and they stuck there. We don't stuck there.
And what percentage of the people you feel have those symptoms you saying describing? You're not gonna tell me it wasn't the same person that jumped through a window and grabbed what they knew they was grabbing that they could sell them or what they needed at home.
Honestly,
I mean-
me personally, I think it probably would have been it probably would have been a lot different if the pandemic wasn't going on right before this. Like
Man,
people are financially set back.
Yo, I'm about to hang up on both of y'all, man, right now.
No, but for real,
Y'all niggas is crazy, man. Y'all sitting here trying to justify
I
niggas
agree with you,
breaking
bro.
and burning down their city because of a pandemic. They should have been doing it 2 weeks ago then. Don't use this as an opportunity because people are out there protesting to
Right.
turn up and want to break
Let me
in.
ask you,
That's ignorance. Those are ignorant.
I
people
agree.
doing that,
I
man.
agree
let
with
me
you, bro.
put it to you like this. Let me put it to you like this, Cho. Let's say you're in an abusive relationship.
Right. Why?
And
Why?
your
why
man-
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That
Well,
when
Hold on, let me
said,
hold on. Your man don't beat you for 6 months. And then one day you wake up in the morning, his toast is a little too dark and he slapped the shit out of you. And you say, I ain't taking it no more. And you put a knife in that nigga's chest. Are you justified in putting a knife in that nigga's chest, or should you have done it 6 months ago? There's a knife in the black community's chest right now, in the white community chest right now, because they slapped us one too many fucking times. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
And they definitely slapped our people the most during the pandemic with just one $1,200 check, man.
Come on, man.
I can show you a video right now where 80% of the people that's looting running in the stores are white.
A black.
Yo,
What? Right.
I know
They
that.
white. I'll show y'all right now. You know what I'm saying?
They're thugs. They're
That's why
thugs.
that's why we wear
They are
masks though.
thugs. Hold
That's
on.
why
They
we
are
wear-
thugs.
That's
Yeah,
the
but
real reason why we
they
wear
are
That's
masks.
what I'm trying to say to y'all. Those people might not be even.
You're right. They are thugs.
Be stricken
I'm with you
anyway.
there. I'm with you right there. I'm with you right there.
You know,
you there.
but
I'm with you
regardless of what, man, I can have a store on one of those streets, man.
Yeah.
Y'all can protest all y'all want. I don't care what your rights is. Don't break into my establishment
Yeah,
Don't
Yes.
set fire to my establishment.
because they're
You know,
taking away jobs from
you know what
our
I'm saying?
people, really.
And
Yes.
if I leave
Yes.
the door open, don't come in there and steal.
Right.
You
They're
know,
taking away jobs from our
and,
people.
and in a pandemic, y'all running it, breaking up and stealing from people that it don't even have business.
Right.
You know how much they suffering already?
Yeah. And they ain't got
You
nothing
want
to
to
do
come
with
and
us.
steal
Like,
a little inventory that
That's
they
real.
move before they can even get more inventory.
facts.
That's real.
And they can't even push this in. I owned the store before. You know what I'm saying? So you tell me somebody come and steal all my inventory and I didn't get a chance to flip that inventory and now I got to go in my pocket again to refill my store, repair my windows and all this stuff, go shopping all again and put all this stuff back into my store because y'all felt like y'all was upset because another black man got killed.
Yeah, because they're not gonna bring none of this stuff
By
back.
the cops tomorrow. That gives them the right to go and loot.
No, but there's a difference between those white thug looters and the black looters. There is a difference.
No, it ain't. What color?
No, pathology.
And
The
reason.
pathology that comes from poverty is different. That's
All
like
right.
saying,
Good
that's
night.
like,
Good night, children.
hold on, wait, hold on.
I
One more
love
thing.
y'all,
I'm gonna
man.
tell you one more thing. The white thugs, when they break into somebody's store, it's done out of privilege. I'm entitled to do it what I want to. When black people do it, it's done out of despair. I ain't got nothing to lose. That's the difference between somebody that got nothing to lose and somebody that thinks nobody can take anything from them.
You want to go talk to this brother, man? Sister,
Hey,
you want to say to him, sister?
hey, Kirsten and Choke and Mr. Jim and Mrs. Jim. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all, man. Everybody out here tuned in. Make sure.
Yeah, this is not Mrs. Jim. This is Felicia, man.
How you doing, how you doing, Miss Felicia?
Mr.
Hey.
Felicia's right here, nigga. He about to jump in his computer on your ass.
My fault, Mr. Felicia. I don't want no smoke. Hey, make sure y'all check out that Epstein documentary on Netflix.
All right, Sean, yo, I appreciate you for
Love
chopping.
you, bro.
My
You already
dude,
know.
always, man. Come back again.
You already know, bro.
Yo, Choke, man. Much love and respect, bro, man. It was fun, yo. It's always fun. You know, half of the stuff I'm saying just to provoke conversation. But you know, I honestly, I do appreciate the fact that you try to it's the real, you know what I'm saying? And you ain't trying to placate to nobody, you ain't trying to tickle funny bone and nothing. And that's, you know, that's real. And I appreciate that, man. I appreciate your voice.
Yeah, I appreciate you too, man. As long as we can, you know, educate, you know what I'm saying, and try to give knowledge to those coming behind us, man, so they don't fall in the pie holes, man. But like, man, you know, Blue. All right, let's get away from white cops. You know what I'm saying? It's Blue because I'm telling you, I got knocked in the head by walkie-talkies by black cops, kicked by black cops, handcuffed very tight by black cops.
Yes, sir.
It's Blue. You know what I'm saying? Like it's Blue, man. It's definitely a Blue thing. You know what I mean?
Question. We 100%.
But I'm gonna watch you, man, because next time they protesting out there and they start riding, I'm gonna be looking to see if I see you jumping out one of the windows, man.
Listen, the only problem I had is my arms don't reach. I don't have a 75-inch arm span.
Yeah. You say you walking on the yellow line, huh? You're in the middle of the street. Okay, I got you.
Much love, my brother, man. Stay safe out there. Yo, nice meeting you, Jim. And Mrs. Jim.
Good night.
Yo, y'all be safe.
Yo, and I gotta hit you up for my new show. You know what I'm saying? I'll talk to you about it behind the scenes. All right.
You got me, brother. Anything you need, anytime.
All right, peace, man. One love. Shout out Phil, man.
Yeah, no doubt, most definitely. All right, family.
That was funny.
Yeah, y'all choke, no joke. Y'all already know what it is, man. That's it for tonight. I ain't mean to keep y'all this long. I still got work to do. You know, I want to thank you, Jim, for chiming in. You know what I'm saying? Y'all check Jim out. I'm gonna give y'all his website right here. Where that look at? Where that tequila? Show me about that tequila.
Where's it at?
Where is it? Where you know better than any of us.
Is this it?
Let me see. What
Oh, look at it.
on the counter here.
Probably know what it is. I was looking at it.
Right? You gotta. every corner is a bar. I'm telling you, yo. You do not bring alcohol to his house, yo.
I'm starting to say,
Yo,
you black, you put some
come
water
on,
in
come tell them about your premium tequila. Tell them.
Just nothing special. Just Demetrio Premium Tequila. You got the website there. Check it out. Tell me what you think. You can reach me at Instagram, Demetrio Premium Tequila.
Yeah, I'll put it up close so they can see it. All right. So, joke, no joke. Y'all already know. I'm about to get out of here. Shout out to Treese. She in the building. Me and Treese got a Y'all already know. Wait. Oh, I'm about to get out of here. Oops. Hold on. Treese, come say hi to the people real quick. Me and Treese got a song. Y'all heard it before, the Desperate Housewives. We went in and re-recorded it, you know what I'm saying? And about to bang out this music video, you know what I'm saying? There's Mickey and Mallory right here. Y'all talking about Bonnie and Clyde. It's Mickey and Mallory right here. New York, Texas thing, you heard? All right. So joke, no joke. Y'all already know. Thanks to everybody for the donations. It's truth be told all day, every day, even on your birthday. All right. But like I said, I got a new show coming for y'all in the next 2 weeks. Y'all gonna love this, man. All new, brand new, all new. You know what I'm saying? I am not gonna give no teasers out. But y'all hit me up on Instagram at Real Choke No Joke. Subscribe to the channel, man. Subscribe. All right? And I'm gonna be doing the giveaway real soon. All right? Want to say anything to the people?
Be looking for Desperate Housewives.
The Caribbean Queen. Oh yeah, a new show, a new episode, Caribbean Queen, Monday at 7 p.m. yo. Episode 2. If you haven't seen the first one, you gotta go see it or you're not gonna know what's going on. All right. So Choke No Joke. Signing off, gotta get back to work, man. I love y'all. It's Choke No Joke. I'm gonna take y'all out with this joint right here, man. You already know.
What's that?
Choke No Joke.
King in New York.
Yeah. You know,
Choke No Joke.